Историята до тук. Археологът Алия Еласра и роботът Сикс са последите на древна обсерватория, наречена Трезора, в която покойният колега на Алия, робототехникът Яник Иренба, е смятал, че може да бъде открита тайната за спасяване на Небула от мрака. В процеса на търсене, Алия намира владетелската корона от Светата империя, а след инспекция нейната приятелка от детството Орои и разкрива, че короната е някакъв вид незнайно устройство. Археоложката всячески отлага връщането на короната на професор Мияри от университета в Айокс. В хода на търсенето, Али и Сикс намират вехнещия палат. Там те откриват голяма дупка, в която предполагат, че императорът е заровил всички роботи. Освен всичко друго, намират и допълнителна информация за непозната досега локация. Нека да си поприказваме. The gods were torn down, destroyed by the empire. Like the one on Elboreth. There are no gods on Eox. So why are these gods at the Withering Palace? Laid out reverently. There is a new river to the left. But I calculate it will lead to our target. Let's do it then. Take the next right ahead, mistress. Цъкнах ремарка, ама той ме спря. Mistress, there is another airless shipwreck away in the distance. И questiona ми спря, и всичко ми спря. The site appears to date from ancient times, mistress. Wait, mistress. I recovered a dented brass telescope just lying out there. О, добре. Интересно. This is one of the end. This is one where the end is broken. Нещо. Our stars are our guide, може би. That can be the word for our. Sure. True, може би. Princess, linger, only, може би, или true. Stars are only. Are true. Heart, friends, може би. Приятел, човек, friends. Are true friends. Stars are true friends. Ами, I think this comes from the same source as the compass and the roll of paper that we discovered at the Withering Palace. Presumably people often traveled to both places. This should help us locate the location. I should take this to Tapi on Elboreth. See if he has anything similar in the collection. So the Mazwai we found down there. If it's not from Iox, по-скоро where is it from? I believe the text is new, but the paper and the bindings is old, mistress. The pages have been scrapped to provide a new surface upon which the Mazwai text has been written. Интересно. And where does the binding of the paper Mazwai come from? The same site as few other artifacts we have found. Somewhere ancient. Добре. Either route ahead continues to our destination, mistress. Айде да видим наляво. Тук съм минал вече, но... Yoxian Space. Presumably the small clay figurine was made of Maersi then, on Maersi. That seems plausible. Clay being a material derived from waterlogged mud. I wonder if the Maersians want it back. Either path ahead leads to our destination, mistress. So, are robots capable of hope? Certainly. We calculate odds, of course. But even the most unlikely outcomes must always eventually occur. Hope is a mathematical certainty. Калкулирах, че имам надежда. Добре казано, приятелю. I like that. Do you? The mathematics does not care whether you like it or not, mistress. Slap. Set us down, Six, and shut the fuck up. My man. Няма проблем. Elboret. However far I sail, these alleyways will always be my home. The stone feet, Six. Even if the stone itself is similar, none of the other statues we've seen have had feet. Maybe this was not a statue of a god, mistress. Maybe it was a person. Said Buya Kirifar. Kibenya. Yeni Huasale Cataliti. Were the statue on Mercy and the one here made in the same place, based on their mineral composition? It is quite possible, mistress. I will consider the matter. Carving of deity colossi. I can see why anyone would waste a statue on Elboreth. Perhaps to remind the citizens of their higher... Какво беше? Position или нещо такова, да? Може би да. Звучи логично. Alia, come on in. I've picked up a few items you might be interested in. Oh, yes? Huh. Another time maybe. As you will. Така. О, yes, така. Окей, нека да видим. Steel Empire. Айде нататък ще запътим така или иначе. It's a silver Steel Empire period effigy of Narrow God from the domed market moon. You spoil me. I have something of a similar period, I think. Yes, this is it. A copper cooking knife? It doesn't have an inscription on the back of the blade. Most likely this comes from the same site as the effigy and the knife that I found at the Withering Palace. There must have been a strong connection between the two sites. This will make it easier to locate. So, you've seen it. The knife for your silver effigy on the narrow god from the domed market moon. Agree. You have a deal. Подобен нож имах, ама както да е. What a fine piece. I found a few more items you might be interested in. Oh, yes. This is a Steel Empire period knife. Подобен на този, който ти ми даде. I could find 3 of those on a Sloan Street corner. You aren't dealing with some gutter rat trader here. It will take me some time to set up buyers for what you've given me, so anything more let me consider another time, fine lady. Oh wow. So Tappy, you've lived here all your life. I've been thinking about Elboreth history. You were telling me you find your artifacts here. Do you think Elboreth used to be more important than it is now? Us Elborethians, we know it. We can feel it. Elboreth used to be the seat of power. The Catkis itself was a fortified city. It's right there in the name. You know enough Patois, don't you? Или Patois, не знам. It means the citadel. It's where you live, Tappy. You should know the name of where you live. You do speak some Patois, Aurelia, but you do not hear it. So what does Catkis mean? Catkis, Alia, means place of kings. The Catkis was the original palace of the empire. Look around, Alia. Aren't we all just living like kings? Another thing, Tappy. How are things in Elboreth? You know, much the same. Whenever anything changes around here, people claw it back again, good or bad. See you later, Tappy. Don't forget us now. Моля ви, забравя. Има смисъл да ходя тук всеки път, между другото, защото we have one new artifact to consider. Should we leave now, mistress? Don't hustle me. Сега не можах да видя къде отивам, както да е. Да, на грешното място. Омръзна ми да ми запречват, между другото, разговорите, пътя и това да виждам някакви работи. Yes? How is trade today? Bristling? I've had enough of this place. How is it possible you remembered the Withering Palace? I cannot be sure, mistress. I think I must consider the matter more. Maybe Roy could help you. I do not want your friend poking around inside my core. She is an amateur. Would you allow a Mercian pig slaughterer to perform a heart operation on you?
There was a sharp, sizzling sound, and a yelp.
Alia, what can I do for you? Tell her about the hopper in the dice of gods. I wanted to tell you something. Ask for your advice about something. Oh no, not again. Just hear me out. We found an ancient hopper. Are you hoping to sell it to me, Alia? Hoping to sell it to me because I don't want it. Six remembered something. Something from before. Six has been there before? I think so. Sounds like you have no idea what you are talking about, Alia. Nothing unusual about that, except you normally hide it better. So, where is this hopper? How do you feel about taking a short flight in the Nightingale? You're serious? I'm terrified. I've never sailed before, you know that? Six will keep us safe, nay. It will be like the old times. You and me, on an adventure together. Old times weren't always good times, Alia. You always seem to come out unscathed. Then let's go! Let's do it. Right now, before I change my mind. And so we left the surface of Elboreth. Окей. Връщаме се. Красота. Aboard the Nightingale, we returned to the ship and sprang up into the water. Alia, Yes? I had no idea. The sky. You haven't seen anything yet. Come up the ladder. There's a dome you can see. Maybe. In a moment. Maybe. 6. Shall we show her how it moves? Mistress? Thank you for this, mistresses. Отиваме директно в The Withering Palace. Eagle's Pass. Sailing to the Withering Palace in the Withering Ways via Ioxian space. Our path continues straight on here, mistress. Doesn't really matter. Is it far? It's kinda far, honestly. Not too far. Just look out the porthole if you don't feel well. Интересно. Чудя се да предам ли контрол на Сикс. Мислих, че има интересен диалог между двете. Май няма да има. Може би да покарам още малко. Или пък не, хайде.
Roy had never left the surface of Elbereth before. I could see she was trying to look brave, but she was not letting go of the ropes.
Ignore the next branch, mistress. Аз ли да го игнорирам, нали? Грешното копче съм натиснал. Pass control to 6. You can sail for a while, 6. Thank you, mistress. I believe I enjoy sailing. The Withering Palace. This is the place the holographic head mentioned. But why would anyone build a palace there? Между другото, щеше да ми говори за нея, ама късно се усетих, аз вече бях някакси тръгнал. We hoppered down outside the ancient gate and hurried inside. It's everywhere. You go like this? You have a strange hobby. Tell me, you can hopper us back, 6. I can indeed, Mistress Uroi. So, what is this place you've brought me to? It's horrible. It's a kind of ritual site. It was called the Withering Palace, всъщност ще кажа. It might have been fine once. The wellspring didn't always blow dust and sand. It's creepy, Alia. That's what it is. This gate doesn't open. But there's a way around. Follow me. So many books here. Was it a library? Oh, girl. You've seen no libraries, honestly. This way. So who are all these lot? Emperors? There's one that's got no arms. That's the serpent god. A what? Who worships a serpent? They don't have enough eyes either. The eye is there, Oroi. I see it. This is pretty incredible. Maybe hoppers were more common back then. But to cut one open like this... Cut open? Looks like it. This is a normal hopper eye, except it's been... disemboweled. It's a hack. Honestly, I quite love it. So what does it do? No idea. I only just got here, Alia. Give me a minute. Take your time. I'll take as long as I need. And you can stop watching me. Може би пак да отида долу. And there's something else. Lined up. Очевидно е, да, ама... Passing right through the center of this space. Interesting. The altar device. You know what it is? It's totally pointless, that's what. You wouldn't travel more than a couple of strides. It's a hopper source. So the beam comes out of here, strikes whatever it strikes, and then carries it across to the eye. Except the eye doesn't work. What do you mean it doesn't work? Like I told you, the eye has been chiseled. I don't think it could refract anything. Alia, why did you bring me to this horrible place? This is some kind of a method of execution. Well, you're correct, Mistress Oroy. I believe there's more to it than that. Please, look again. Six, could you go stand in the middle of this space? Between the hopper source and the eye, Mistress Oroy? That's right. I'm ready, Mistress Oroy. So this hopper doesn't refract the physical stuff back. But suppose the dynamics still came through intact. Like the way some people record themselves as messages. Maybe 6 was used to capture someone. That's what it's remembering. Capture someone? If you've got questions, Alia, ask them. But don't just repeat things back. It makes you sound thick. So you're going to what? Open 6 up? Like you did to 3? Something like that. You see, the good thing about hoppers is they are physical. Every time they are used, they entangle with what's already there. They get a bit scratched. Like the way a ship leaves a wake in the water. So if this thing hasn't been used too much, we might be able to recover a few stray images. Work your magic, Oroy. If the robot gets broken, well, I don't really mind. Here goes.
I don't exactly know what Oroy did, but the effect on the robot was impressive.
You? Това принцесата ли е? You are in charge here? In charge? I was held for so long. You won't imprison me again. You can't. Ah, so I see it is still here. Still working. My followers worked for months to uncover the secret of this device. If they could see me now. The glorious result. So this place is a prison. You don't know where you are? That's interesting. Your robot was able to bring you here without even telling you what it knew? Perhaps you could tell me. No. No, Alia Lasara of Elboreth. I really don't think I will. You have a ship. Don't you know? Ah, I see that you do. Interesting. There are layers inside here. Layers upon layers. Layers of what? I do not think you would understand. It takes many lifetimes to understand the true depth of a soul. You really pick your robots, Alia? Who are you? You do not even know who I am. Has so much time passed since I ascended? Hundreds of years, at least. The Empire fell. Did you know that? Of course I did. I felt it. Това щерката ли е? But tell me of my world. I'm not uncaring. Has the darkness swept across the nebula? Is all lost? What darkness? No. Then the danger itself was buried. The fools. Tell me about the darkness. The darkness is coming, and only the vault can turn it back. Heaven's vault. Is this the vault that Renba's ghost was talking about? The robots who ran the Empire knew, but they did nothing. Which the robots? The robots on Elboreth, of course. The ones I deposed. You should be pleased. You will have the honor of escorting an empress back to her throne. Alia, if she leaves the beam of the Hopper source. Empress, please stay away. Please stay where you are. I don't take orders from you. Alia, if she leaves the signal, she'll stay like this. There's a ship here. Follow me. NK does not wait, Alia. Of all the robots to end up with, I was just thinking, how many others have you lost? Come, or I will depart without you. You heard your empress, Alia. Nothing down there now. Are you always this slow, Alia? Императрицата, добре. You do not want to be left behind. Be ready. And so we left the surface of the site of the Withering Palace. Ами заменихме роботко с друг робот. Роботите са бивши хора, но някои роботи знаят. Като цяло не им разбирам нещата все още какво се случва, но както да е. Aboard the Nightingale, we returned to the ship and sprang up into the water. This is your ship? Do you not clean it? My robot cleaned it. Then you should be grateful your defective robot is gone. The boat seems watertight at least. Though I would use a hopper. Where do you want to go? Now we sail for Iox. Alia, I want to go home. I don't know how you stand these dead moons. They are not all like that. I've been to lush garden worlds. Although that one was a graveyard. Enough. I want to live my life, not walk over a wreck or someone else's. No wonder you're so cold. Me cold? Just take me home. I want to go somewhere busy. Елборет. Рой wants to go home. И ще отидем пак да видим Тапи. Sail to Elboret in Ioxian space. I refuse to set down on Elboret. The place is repulsive. No one asks you, princess. You can go if you want to. By the goddess and her impostors. I'm going to rest. Excellent. Добре. Та сега да не ни закара някъде на майната си. Elboreth, добре. However far I sail, these alleyways will always be my home. Continue. Her Highness is refusing to come down. I don't blame her. I'm surprised you come back. I have friends here, Oroy. You do, Alia. Don't forget that. Thanks for the ride, Alia. Good luck with your new empress. Robots have off switches, right? Nope. Good fate to you, Alia Elasra. Good fate, Oroy. Сет Бояки Рефар. Кибения. Мога да кажа Микис, между другото. Йени Хуаса Ле Каталети. Alia, come on in. I've picked up a few items you might be interested in. Oh yes? The scratched incense burner. A scratch ornate Steel Empire period incense burner decorated with an image of a gate. There's nothing special about that. And in better condition too. Alia, I prefer jewelry and silver and historical unusual things, not rubbish. Oh, come on. The book made somewhere distant. It's a typeset hardbound book dating from ancient times. Wonderful! I've not seen anything quite like that. I might be able to make you an offer. Here we are. A metal candle holder embossed with a mesh design. Oil burning. The glasses, the sort they blow here on Elboreth. The bracket has been etched with glyphs too. Красота. There's a few words in this one. Добре, виждам our, което е очевидно. Our parents cannot take us home. This doesn't feel right. Кен не е вярно, нали? Точка, cannot е. Us. Our parents cannot take. This one has a lot of symbols, but I think it must say our. Another long one, but I'm sure it translates as parents. Cannot, със сигурност, take us away. Link away, добре. Our parents cannot take us away. This comes from the same site as the knife I found here before, I think. We've got a lot of leads on the Steel Empire site. This will make the site easier to locate. So if you are seeing the merchandise, the candle holder for your typeset, hardbound book. Okay, agree. You have a deal. I think this looks rather good here. What you give me will keep me in business for a week. If there's more, let me know another time when my eyes recover. So, Tappy, I'm not going to be here long. A shame, but wise. See you later, Tappy. Don't be a stranger to us now. Ох, трябва да се върна пеш. Я да видим тук някакви писания, няма ли нещо? Не. Уж се огледах първия път тук, ама нищо. For some reason there's no word for going down. Искам ли да ходя в гетото? По-скоро не. Back to the ship then. And so I left the surface of Elboreth. Добре. Следващата локация сигурно ще бъде някъде надолу и дясно. Не искам да отидам в Айокс. Или пък да отида с нея. Може би да отида с нея. Там вече сега като отида с нея, дори да трябва да нося короната след тази. Not it is just you and... Now it is just you and me. Take me to my palace. Къде? В Айокс? Skill Empire site. Unknown site. Somewhere distant. Ancient site. Много места, много малко следи. Eagle Pulse. Sailing to Iox in Ioxian space. Disregard the next turning. Elboretian rat. Fuck you then. Та ще си говорим ли сега с нея? You were buried on Iox. Do you remember why? Oh, yes. As is the fate of all emperors. I was betrayed. I will not be betrayed again. Who the hell do you think you are? I was betrayed, вика. Чудя се дали няма да намеря някъде.
Once, sailing through Eagle's Pass, I thought I saw a gigantic ship. As large as a moon, moving down the river like a shadow. Of course, I was ahead of it, and by the time I looped around, it was gone.
Why are you still helping me, NK? How is she helping me at all? I'm not helping you. You are not, indeed. You are helping me. I'm not helping you. Мале, тия къде са събрали такива киселячки? You are. There is a darkness coming, gutter rat. An empress is not an empress if her empire is lost. Set us down, NK. Och. The University of Iox. I've spent most of my adult life on Iox. Continue. Look at this place. It's changed. This was a palace. A place of comfort and luxury. A place of respite по-скоро. Now look at it. Iox is comfortable enough. Then you have never experienced true comfort. I might not have. I will require my other face. How were you betrayed? I led a vengeful army through the palace gates, and after we slaughtered them all, my army turned on me, though they did not dare kill me. So they buried me alive. I will wait here. You don't want to see Miari? That woman is my primary user, Alia. Tell her where to stick it. I usually do. You have freedoms, I do not. Take whatever time you want. Tell whatever lies you must. Окей, сега ще наложим здраво. Ето сега вече всичко ще е точно. Къде е короната на бабината ти? Алия? Talk to me, Ari. Professor. Have you ever heard anything about the Ancient's Vault? The Heaven's Vault? What's that? The robot mentioned it. I've heard the name before. It's a story from the old sea. It's not important. I collect stories. Not all archaeology is physical. I suppose they didn't tell you stories at the orphanage. I would have told you stories if you had been with me. Just tell me. Very well. Once there was an island home to a wild and wonderful people in the middle of the old sea, and it was sinking. It had always been sinking. The rocks had formed its cliffs and shores were crumbling. The fertile soil was clawed away, grain by the sea. But it happened so slowly, the people said it was natural. They believed the island would heal like a wound. Until the night came when the sea crept into their houses and swept their children away. The people blamed themselves. They prostrated themselves before altars. They begged for forgiveness, but the sea did not stop. It took their children, then their fields, then all the lower lands. Soon the island was no more than a hill. Kings climbed on kings. All hope was lost. So they felled their last fruit tree to build a boat. The boat was not large, but it was strong enough to sail beyond the edges of the world. No one knew how far it would have to go to find the shore. But the priest convinced everyone to stay behind and pray. Not at all, you heathen. The boat did sail. It leapt beyond the horizon. No one had ever sailed so far. No one knew if it would ever land. And the boat's name, they say, was the Heaven's Vault. Heaven's Vault is a ship. It's a story for children, Alia. To make them clean their teeth and weed their potatoes. Нормалните детски работи, нали? Nothing more. I'm sorry you didn't get to be a child on Elboreth. Your life here would have been better. Yes. Thank you for the story, Professor. That's alright, Alia. It's good to know you're not too old for stories. Give her the crown. I've brought it, Professor. Here it is then. This is what we found on that moon. Beautiful. Do you know what it is? I'm not certain, but I think it's the crown of the last Emperor of Iox. He took it with him when he went into hiding when Iox fell. Incredible. But shall I tell you what it is? It really is. Oh, I know, I think. So what is it? You don't know? If this is the Emperor's crown? Iox would never have parted with it. I can imagine you lifting this from the ashes of the Emperor himself. So you're going to keep it? It belongs on Iox, of course. Alia, this is your moment. Off you go and enjoy it. I don't want to go anywhere. Give me the crown back, you old goose. You have more books than Huang. Those books are not his. Nor are these ones mine. Is there a copy of Mazwai here? Of course. You know Mazwai was a sailor and a scholar. Like me, you mean? Perhaps you'll write a book before the fall comes again, Alia. Може би не трябваше да й дам короната. Направих грешка, нали? Какво да правим? Good fate to you, Alia. Elborethian, surely you're not done here. Should we leave now, Alia Elastra? We have still more to do. То нашия приятел къде е? Трябва да го видя. Може би. If I may, Alia, I detected a certain coldness between you and the professor. She's a total snake. That seems a strong reaction. She's like a mother to me. People always detest their mothers. Yeah. Sure, dude. Но е разбираема леката свръхреакция в такъв случай. Ето го нашия приятел, май. Не, това е нещо оранжево. Може би наистина е нашия приятел. Стори ми се, че е нещо оранжево и викам да не е той. Да видим какво прави. Може би трябваше отида да го посетя първо него.
The library is a quiet spot to think. Except when Huang's in there. Which of course, he always is.
Alia, always a pleasure. Have you found any artifacts you want me to look at? Quite a few. The decorated clay figurine. Have you ever seen anything like this clay figurine? Let me see that. There's an inscription. I read it as Goddess bless plants. Yes, I think you're correct about plants. Super. Thanks, Huang. It's a water bearer. Goddess of fertility, wealth and good news. These things are quite common, I'm told. It's always a cult on some of the moons of the Protectorate. They'll follow the Great Loop, really, of course. But they like to pretend they believe in some old Edikvosi. You'd best keep it. I don't think the archivist will want it. The curator will only smash it to pieces if you give it to them. Бати типовете. How old are these books of yours? Some are really old. But not, you know, not ancient. They date back to the first empress or so. I've made a few finds recently. Oh yes. The inscribed sword. Take a look at this sword. May I take a look? There's an inscription. I read it as may gods guide your decision. I'm not convinced by your use of decision. Do you see the two-legged glyph with a head? That might be a symbol representing person or maybe a robot, but doesn't така. It was my best guess. Hand тогава. Или swing. Hand може би. Give hand, да. May gods guide your hand, then. Thanks, Huang. Interesting. I'm not sure we have anything quite like that one. Do you want me to archive the sword? Take it. Good fate to you. I'll be back shortly. Къде отида да го архивира нашия човек, не съм сигурен. Но определено ми се иска да му дам още работи. Всичко, което имам да му давам. Въпросът е къде отиде. This place has nothing to offer. Can we leave yet? Let's go out of here. Leave the moon. This way, woman. And so we left the university. Интересно, доста нови неща намерих. Имам неща и места за търсене имам. Aboard the Nightingale, we returned to the ship and sprang into the water.